Hi, YouTube. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Welcome on in. Appreciate y'all. Hey, we're getting started with Frieren episode number 7, ladies and gentlemen. In case you guys are always curious, hey, we do things to pause, talk a lot, analyze, go in as deep as we possibly can. I guess the number one thing about this show is to bring up concepts of conversation, of psychological conversation, some deep themes, concepts, what it means to survive in certain instances, what it means to leave your legacy, so on and so forth. However, I am going to go ahead and state this. If you guys are going through a rough time right now, please seek out mental health from your local providers, from a mental health organization near you. The community here is a very supporting, very loving community, and they're very open to, just being there and being a support network. However, we cannot be your therapist. I love you guys, but I can't be your psychologist, but I can be a friend. And I think that's one of the biggest impacts there is, guys. I appreciate y'all. This show touches on such heavy themes that oftentimes just gets pushed under the rug. That's exactly why I'm bringing this up, because I want you guys to be okay throughout all of this. Also, if you guys are like, oh, he's predicting shit, my job isn't to predict shit. A good psychologist, a good therapist will always be able to go out and see patterns and be able to go out and analyze and talk about the psychological elements and how it brings true, and if they don't, then that's kind of rough on, I'm kind of questioning their education and instances like that. But aside from that, guys, I'm so fucking hyped. I'm so ready for this episode. All right, let me bring it up and we'll be ready to go ahead and go. Hold on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready, ladies and gentlemen? All right, let's go. Mm. Isn't that interesting? In a reference for self. Hold on. In an introspective reference of self. And this goes for anything. How do you believe that you're getting closer to your goals if sometimes say that everything around you points the other way? And this even goes to our own internal thought patterns, right? Which is, how do you know you're getting better if, for example, inside of you, you believe that you are worthless, but yet you're going to therapy and you're doing instances of like self help, self attribution, self whatever, and you're like, man, I'm doing all of this, but I like, your core schema is still telling you you're worthless. How do you know that you're making progress? What does progress look like to you? And I genuinely mean this. Like, if everything around you is telling you that it's fake, that you're not progressing and whatnot, chat, what would progress mean to you? Very serious question. You could start to doubt whether genuine article existed at all. Yeah, I mean, after a while, you probably could in this anime. But what does progress mean for you? If we break that down, like for me, it's something that I have to feel or see. I have to experience something with one of my senses that I feel it's betterment, right? I have to either feel as though I am getting better. I have to see that I'm getting better to start believing and feeling that I'm getting better. Maybe hearing, right? Because for some people, their voice, if they ever hear their voice back in a recording, it's triggering for people. And, maybe if they hear themselves maybe going deeper or louder or softer or doing ASMR and being really, really fucking good at it. Doing all those weird noises like this. Like, everyone has a different instance for what better means for them. That's exactly why I'm pointing this out. Like, what does better mean for you? Is it being atomic? So on and so forth. Through this, though, have you ever questioned yourself for that? I know I have. And I know I've questioned a lot of my own bettering habits because at times I've become my own worst enemy. Because at times I've tried to sabotage my own progress. Because at times it's easier for me to feel as though I'm making progress and maybe even not like consciously, but subconsciously feel afraid of actually, I don't know, finding the real Grimoire in that situation. Or in my situation, actually making change to the point where I'm unrecognizable to others and maybe like cutting people out of my life that I don't want out of my life just yet. And I become afraid and I might relapse. Relapse is normal. Talking about these is very, very normal, you know. I question myself every time I do an exam, even though my track record has been nominal every time. Yeah, it's a very human emotion, very human experience that often just gets like shut down or whatnot. And through this, I don't need to pull up any charts just to have a conversation on this, because this is just a very human thing. It's a very natural thing for us to start questioning our own aspects, right? Our own aspects of what is okay and what isn't, and how we feel we're making progress or not. Anyway. Mm. What is the biggest enemy you will ever have? And even psychologically, like, this is a concept that you go through, right? And yeah, that's why I'm stopping there, because it's, what is the biggest enemy that you will ever have aside from yourself? Aside from yourself, what is the biggest enemy you will ever have or ever encounter? That asshole in the mirror, my mother. Time. Time is the biggest enemy you will ever encounter. And by that, I mean, literally, one moment you can be a hero, and then time, society, whatnot will keep passing, and you will turn into the villain. You will be forgotten. You will be hated. You will be loathed. People that are loathed over time might be loved. In fact, even your own brain does this. And you guys might be like, nah, what the fuck are you talking about? How many of you have ever gone through a breakup, a bad breakup, or a breakup, or you're no longer friends with someone or something like that? I have. When you first were there, how did you feel about it? How did you guys first feel about that, like, relationship dissolution? Destroyed. I like, one of my biggest fucking heartbreaks out there, completely ripped my heart apart, stomped on it. I literally felt like I lost a big portion of myself, and I was in physical pain, even though, like, there was no physical injuries on me. Like, it was ugly. Yeah, straight up. It was absolutely ugly. I cried. I was in a deep, dark depression for a while, right? When that happened. Over time, what happens? And I genuinely do mean this, because, you know, when that breakup, when that situation happens, you might turn them out to be an enemy. They're the fucking worst. They're so on and so forth. But over time, what happens? Chat. And that's what I'm saying. It could be a friend. It doesn't have to be romantic. It heal, but it doesn't heal them completely. And I do want to reiterate this, right? Your brain doesn't want to keep feeling that level of pain. Your brain, right, as the living organism that it is, does not want to stay at that level of pain, of hurt, of everything. Here, I'll show the polyvagal theory here as a way of referencing this. If you look at the polyvagal theory here, what does that point to? Imagine this. Usually should stay in the green area, in the ventral vagal, to be able to go ahead and, like, heal and start the process of doing Maslow's hierarchy of needs. But what happens when you go through a really, really bad breakup, or a scenario where your heart is just ripped apart? You usually stay over here, in sympathetic, in dorsal vagal, and your little thing just goes like this. Your little thing literally goes yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red. Your brain doesn't want to keep going all the way to red. Your brain is saying no. So what does it do? It starts a healing process. It starts this beautiful process of quite literally being like, okay, you're instead of feeling it 100%, you're gonna feel it 99.5% today. Oh, yeah, remember that? Okay, we're feeling it 99.4 today. We might feel it 99.7 the next day, because it's still some feelings of hurt, but we're going to keep decreasing the pain until all of a sudden you go into a yellow. Then from yellow slowly works it into maybe green, or maybe you start remembering the good memories and you start making justifications as to that might have happened and how you can work on yourself so that it doesn't happen again. I hope that makes sense. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, and you guys might be like, what the fuck does this have to do with this? What about other people in this universe? What about people that are seen as evil? Can time shift that narrative? Can time shift the narrative? For example, I went through this narrative where it's like this person is a villain, this person's evil for my my ex or whatever. To they were human and they made mistakes. As simple as that. Can time do this for other people and for your people in your life? I don't mean to go that hard, guys, but it's a very, very interesting conversation. And even for Frieren, because she might have been seen as a hero, right? But what if time, over the concepts of time, she's either forgotten and or seen as a villain? Did you really have to take down the Demon Lord? The Demon Lord was just fighting for their rights. That's what the Demon Lord was doing. The Demon Lord was just fighting for the rights of the demon people. Frieren and her gang went in there and massacred a bunch of demons. Time. Concepts of time. So what do you do? What do you do in situations like this? Since we're talking about exactly, all of a sudden there's sympathy, there's empathy, there's moments out there. So what happens in a scenario like this? You as the individual, knowing that the paradigm is always shifting, have to assert yourself in your own personal beliefs. What do you stand for? Do you stand for something, or do you just run around and try and appease everyone? Or if I'm the type of person as a streamer that I'm like, hey, you know what? I will never, like, ever. This is a lie. I hate Moshko Tensei. Rada, right? All of a sudden, Moshko Tensei blows up in popularity, and I'm like, oh my god, I fucking love Moshko Tensei. Oh, it's so fucking good. Oh, and then all of a sudden, Moshko Tensei ends. It's like, I hate Moshko Tensei. Rudy is a pedo. Blah, 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 blah. All of this hate. What did I just do? Do I stand for something? Or did I just go ahead and literally like clickbait, farm bait? Because people do this, and I don't just mean content creators, I mean just people in general. Because content creators can do this with any show. Like jumping and saying, no, I would never touch this show. I have too many things going on in my life. Boom, they jump on it because it's exploding in popularity. Or there's a big game or a big theme. It happens. There's no judgment there. It fucking happens, right? But what do you stand for as an individual? And that's what's fucking critical. Frieren, I believe, is a person that genuinely stands by what she believes, right? She's a person that is so introspective. We're almost at a minute, I think probably half an hour. Holy fuck. Frieren is a person that genuinely believes in what her goals are, and she is chasing them no matter what. So I think in the face of time, will she change? Like it's specifically social time. We're not going to talk about the grand concept of time because people change because of the grand concept of time. But social pressure. Do you think that she would change because of social pressure, or would she stay the same regardless of social pressure? I know Ed goes on a rant 1 minute into fucking Frieren, and chat goes fucking quiet. Do you think that Frieren would change because of social pressure? I don't. I think Frieren is one of those, high colorism, is one of those individuals who will literally be a wall. And the only thing that deteriorates is time and not social pressure and her ability to want to move and or deteriorate. Right? That's what I think. Sorry, really, really long-winded, but an awesome way to go ahead and go deep into this character to actually try and process what it means. And also, it comes in the next question. How many of you have had a family member pass away? Right. I think we all have. We all have at some point in time. How many of you still remember them? How many of you have these core memories with these people? I'll be honest. I had an older coworker, late 60s, early 70s, come up to me and say, "I just want to make good memories with all of you because I want you guys to carry those memories with you after I'm gone. Because I want you guys to at least be able to go out and remember me far when you guys are much, much older and laugh. Because I at least want to be remembered in a way that like you guys were able to go out and laugh. And it's something to genuinely process. Even if it was so little. Yeah. Yeah. 5 years, don't do that. Bro, people are totally gonna fucking hate bait on that shit. It is harder to remember after years pass. Absolutely. Yeah, it is. It is. But sometimes words and events and even smells can trigger that, you know. That was 1 minute. Why did I feel like we had watched like 30 minutes of the show? My internal clock is fucked up, dude. That was 1 minute, brother. Real I have three sets of questions that we'll go ahead and explore. Number one, adorable, right? Number two, if she's a heavy sleeper, what do you think would wake her up? Number three, there has to come a time and moment and change. Tickles, yes. Not like that. I'm talking about the mal pensados, cochinos, bad. I'm gonna get a fucking spray. I'm gonna spray you guys. It's not like that. What are you? Oh, but degenerado. But specifically, like what I'm touching on is for her to be waking up early, for her to be changing and to like actually be going through these phases of change. I'm gonna be honest. I think one of the biggest changes that she can do is start becoming independent, start feeding herself, start asking for things because these people are acting as their caretakers instead of her acting as their caretakers. Isn't that interesting? Isn't the power dynamics of that interesting? She might be really, really, really smart. She might be phenomenal in so many ways, shapes, or sizes, but yet other people still act as a natural caregiver for her, and she just accepts it. That's mm. Maybe she's just enjoying being taken care of. She no, but that's the thing, Sebas. I'll put it this way: if you guys live alone or independently or whatnot, and you had to move back into your parents' house, would you let them feed you like this? Would you lose your independence or aspects of independence, or would you try and keep your independence and try and find a way to like move back out on your own or whatnot? Ah, I see what you mean. Yeah, if you were sick, yeah, but we're talking about just normally. As you are normal, if you moved out of your parents' house and you had to move in suddenly, right? Would you let them feed you? Would you let them, like do all of these things, like give you a massage and like over the top aspects like that? There's a difference between having a home cooked dinner and then having it as an expectation. And that is a difference in that, right? The difference is here, Frieren is almost like this is an expected routine, an expected behavior, and it's not bad. It happens to all of us, right? For these things to happen. So for me, it's pushing this ideology, and even mindset that like, okay, this is gonna be scary. Frieren, because of propinquity, Frieren is more than likely gonna treat these people like family, right? I know she's cute. We'd all do it. Frieden is more than likely going to treat these people like family. So what happens? What happens if, say, The redhead kid dies, or the girl dies, Fern dies. What would genuinely happen to Frieren? Do you, especially since she's already starting the process of change? Do you? Oh, she hasn't even been with them for 10 years. No. Well, I mean, with the girl she's been with for a while. She gets revenge. She's starting the process of recovery. Will she relapse, or will she progress forward? You have two options here, or three. She freezes. Does she freeze? That's where she's at. Does she relapse, or does she continue going on forward and keep going through the process of change? What does she do? That's the mentality that we need to have while thinking about this show. What does it mean for Frieren to do this? What does it mean for these connections to be there? What does it mean for propinquity to be in effect here? And not just talking about the poetics and the juxtaposition of narrative, blah, 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 blah. It's talking about the connections that we make and the importance of connections. And that's why looking at things, especially this show through an attachment lens, is extremely important. I think this association might be one of the biggest keys that we might find through this, right? Now that she realizes how fleeting their lives are, it's going to become a problem that she inevitably loses people. She's going to be a master disconnect or something. Yep. Oh, fuck. I gotta mute it. YouTube overlords are going to kill me. Ba-da-da. Hold on. We can skip. I don't mind skipping it. End them. I know. YouTube is fucking harsh on it, man. Here's something I don't agree with, and I guess I'll go ahead and point this out there because there's been a lot of people in my DMs lately that have been telling me to take off this filter. That have been like, take this filter off on Twitch, on YouTube. No, never. Because the point of this channel, yes, while we love anime, we love dissecting anime, I am not here to go ahead and just showcase the entire anime through this. I'm not here to go ahead and like be like watch and get hit with the hardcore copyright strike that is hitting a lot of people on Twitch, on YouTube, on whatever. The reason for this filter is because it's a reminder that yes, we are watching a show, but we are analyzing it, and that's the most important element. Is we are like psychologically analyzing it. My love and respect goes out to all the creators and all their works. And if you guys want to watch the show on your own, feel free to go ahead and watch it. This is not a replacement for the content. This is just a reminder that we are watching this show with the intent of psychoanalyzing it and psychoeducating ourselves about the different concepts at play here, right? That is the number one thing there. Go support the author. Go support the content. Buy the figures that they send out, the light novel, the whatever, right? And that's exactly why I bring this up, because too many people have been messaging me about that. About take off the filter. It's okay. It's on Twitch. Nah, man, that's not what I stand for, and that's never what I've stood for. If it's in Degeneral, that's one thing, right? Because it's a Degeneral anime, and we all talk about it. But on Twitch and on YouTube, this filter will always be here, and that's a promise that will always stand, guys. And the hero goes to sleep, leaving this land with the passage of time is heartlessly makes people forget. Even tracks left behind by his life begin to rust. Yeah, just the same. Here's the thing, and I guess this is a big aspect even into myself. I do wonder. I mean, it's happened a lot where me coming on here doing all of these deep anime analysis, psychological anime analysis, and people being like, "You're not the first." Yeah, dude. There's never like there's 101 other people before me, but as like coming in here and like do these same concepts, will they apply 100 years in the future? Probably. There are similar concepts. Will some things change? Absolutely, right? Is there going to be some medium changes? Absolutely. But will the concepts that we talk about, the very human like concepts, uh, pertain to the future? Yeah, I think so. So in a way, all of you guys are immortalized as part of this video whenever it goes on YouTube, here on Twitch, so on and so forth. The people would do the way back machine all of a sudden they're saying, where was Rogue FBI at this? Where was Church of Findy, Church of Indy here? Where was Nickmer? Where was so on and so forth? Good and or bad, you guys are being immortalized in some way, shape, or form. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hey, yo, is this a fucking demon? I just checked the reflection. It looks like a demon with big bazungas. With big wait a minute. And it has a little like opening for the tummy. Has a little hold on. Hold on. Is this a succubus? Hold on. Degen was a mistake. I can't tell much unless like their hair is being blocked. It's either black or it's got to be pink or purple or some shit. Hold on. Runs to check. I like how we go from serious to fucking like degen in 1 second. And also the lyrics in this are still inside of me. That is one lyric to stop on, man. That is one hell of a lyric to stop on. We have to post more in the general so he calms down. Yes, exactly. Please post more Frieren. The general, I guess. Begins to rush just the same. What is it? Your words and wishes and encourage. Oh, okay. Your words, wisdom, and courage are still inside of me. Okay. That's all it was supposed to be. Why is it that at some point I wanted to understand? Here's a question, and here's a very weird question. I know that this demon looking elf is phenomenal as well. If Frieren, let's say that Frieren and Himmel did the do near the end of their journey. Let's just pretend, right? Frieren for some reason may have a need or something happened and they're totally, I don't know. They had one night. Frieren goes off for 50 years. Or Frieren after the night of the meteor goes off. Frieren's pregnant. Gives birth. Alf is whatever, like a lot older. What do we even know? An elf pregnancy, pregante? Oh, an elf pregnancy takes 200 years. Ooh, oof. Never mind, scratch that shit. Nanachi, scratch that shit. Now that is a weird dojin. No, I'm just talking about the concepts of SB. I know you would, brother. I know you would. But like I'm thinking like the concepts of pain and legacy and maybe even following that cycle of generational trauma, of generational everything. Man, those feet do magic though. The way that this comes off, Speen, sad boy Sasuke. Step on me, mommy. How this is like breaking apart, right? How this is pushing through. It makes me wonder because she comes in both halves, which is if they go to heaven, if they get to heaven, say that they do reach heaven for whatever reason, that's gonna be a tough choice for her. That's gonna be really, really fucking hard. Does she stay with her friends, like, or does she move on with this new group that she's formed? That's one hell of a like, especially as she's growing and having these memories and whatnot. Like the past connects the future, but if she's going to heaven and there are people there, that's both. Yeah, they both do. They both do. But you have to remember what is the theme? What are they reaching for? They're reaching for heaven. So if she reaches heaven and there are these people there, heaven could be some place where a lot of people get tricked to stay in because that's where their friends are. That's where connection is. But if other people want to keep on moving, which we've already seen this theme brought up over and over. Frieren takes forever. We have to move. We have to keep moving. A short while could be 6 months, a year for her, so on and so forth. It's already a theme that has been brought up. And that's sort of what I'm wondering is, yeah, they might have battles. They might have, say, a world, like, devastation event, and so on and so forth. But once they reach this place, she's going to have to make a choice. And that's where my heart is breaking at the moment. Plenty of side quests. All right, guys, you guys ready? Back con música, señor. "28 years after the death of Himmel the hero, on Eng Road, located in Northern Highlands." Ooh. I'm lowering the volume just a little bit, chat. Sorry. The music is phenomenal. What is this saying? Like, let's take this for a second. If I can bust your balls for a minute, that means we're probably good friends. That means that we're starting to get to a level of friendship. We're starting to get to a level of accommodativity where I can bust your balls, I can roast you, I can, literally, like, we can start like riffing off of one another and maintain that friendship. That is amazing. And that's phenomenal to see that, like, even unknowingly, she might not even be consciously thinking about it. Yeah, camaraderie is setting in. Exactly. So through this, I gotta ask. Frieren is in front of you, right? You're her friend or more than friend. Do you nibble or don't you? What do you do? Are you a nibbler or nah? Genuine question, chat. Genuine question that comes with a lot of interesting ramifications. Yes, I do. SPS, you would. My dream. My dream. Fighting demons. Hmm. So is there still a stigma against demons? Like, societally speaking, is there still a stigma against demons in this regard? Or not? That is huge. That is huge to go ahead and process and think so, right? Because I've talked about time and how time can go ahead and flip narratives, right? Um, but then comes the question, right? Because here's the thing. Let's take the hero's, I don't know, journey, right? What's up, Rogue? You doing okay? More than 80 years since. Yeah. Well, let's take the hero's journey, right? We take the heroes and their defeat against the demon lord because he must have been evil. Are the demons evil? Is it a part of them as individuals to be evil? Is it a part of their nature? That's the question that's coming through my mind. Or was it just a stigma at that time? Because my thing is, and I do, uh, who knows? So, well, that's where my mind goes. Well, depends on what you define as evil. Well, I mean, we can even use this as like a snake and a rat. Fuck, I'm using rat analogies now. Fuck you, SB. If you put a snake in a rat's den, is it in is it evil for the rat to or the snake to eat the rat? Like in that situation with power dynamics, it's something very similar can be talked about. The snake breaks down trying to figure out what the rat is, because in the nature, damn wild animals. If it's just wild animals, right? Like a lion hunting a deer or whatnot, that's dinner. Are demons, i.e., creatures that can share empathy, or not? Or are they just like animalistic in a sense where, say, empathy might be cut off in some way, shape, or form? That's my mind. Like my mind is fucking racing into that. Is the stigmatic proof, like conceptually, of like time passage and even like I guess societal elements of passage through that. I think it's by nature for a snake to eat food, so it's not evil. Fuck. And if they're going up there, I'd be scared if I was Frieren. Hearing this information scares me for Frieren, and I'll tell you guys why. Because all of a sudden, say, "Oh yeah, the demons are fighting," and say that like for some reason, demons are praised. That's a normal in society up there, whatnot. Who's not to say that Frieren isn't look at like a criminal? Who's not to say that Frieren isn't like, you're not the heroes. You weren't a part of the hero squad. You were the genocide individual. You came through and demolished, hundreds of thousands of my kind. And all of a sudden you have all of these people in society that have adjusted to this frame of thinking, and you who were once hailed as a hero are now the actual evil in their minds. That's where my mind is like, yeah, elf demons, cool now. They might be. It might just be a big bridge, Wanted to. They can get revenge from. It's just my line of thinking. I like explaining it so you guys are aware of where my mind is going to, specifically for these characters, right? Quals. Tony. Dude. Oh. Oh, dude, I'm fucking shipping them. My heart, my shipping heart is real. Oh, I'm shipping them way too. They're like an old fucking married couple, or that's just arguing with one another. The ship is real. Yeah, she already looked at him like he's trash. Something of a rarity. Hmm. I guess comes in the next question, and this is gonna sound horny, but it's not. It's a developmental question. What races can elves mix with? If elves are so limited, short termed, however we want to go ahead and label it this way, what races are elves compatible with? You know, humans are you going to make like halflings or you know orcs or goblins? Like what? Yeah, that's sort of where my mind goes into. We lack romantic feelings and reproductive instincts. So then why were you born? In that question in of itself, it's interesting that you bring it up, but then why were you born? That must mean it's just a no, 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 no. Take it for what it is. Take it for what she's saying, right? She's like this is her belief patterns, which is across the board we lack romantic feelings and reproductive instincts. For us, it's natural to be like, oh yeah, it's a generalization. But if we process this in, what questions would you ask Frieren to get her to realize that that might be wrong? How would you frame a question to Frieren that might get her to think, wait a minute, is it that we like reproductive instincts? Or is it that like people get curious? Or is it that maybe people find out the meaning of what love is later on? Or time? Or so on and so forth. I do wonder developmentally because we all have it as individuals, as beings. It don't matter if you're human or not. Well, here's the thing. Even as beings, we all have. It doesn't have to be reproductive instincts, but sexual instincts, right? By this, I know there are people out there that like present as ace. That's a-okay. However, that doesn't mean that at one time or another you haven't ever tried to masturbate, or you haven't ever tried to play with the idea of sex or self-sex in that matter, right? Because people automatically like to assume that asexual means no sex at all, right? People say that they're repulsed by the idea of sex, but yet they look at pictures of sex, or they like look for instances like this. So my question comes in because developmentally we all hit a period in time where it might be that we're curious, we look at things, we at first might not be interested in it, but maybe we start thinking about ourselves as well. I wonder, is there a period of time when elves become, say, more sexually active? Just, yeah, let a bot. Some people just do it just because. Lack of libido because of the long lifespan of meaning that if an elf died in combat for, they're probably already a child developmentally. Probably, Sanic. Probably. So that's sort of where my mind is at, is if we take elf years and we start finding out developmentally where they're at, what does that mean? To the US as well? Not necessarily. Life expectancy, like it depends on what statistics you look at, but currently looking at the Department of Housing statistics, I hate to put it this way because it's actually interesting. There's too many people reproducing with not enough means to cover them. Oh, US happened to us as well. Sorry, I thought the US. I was like, there are too many people reproducing with not enough means to cover. That's an issue that's currently happening that people have been pointing out. But for that, like even for us, if you live longer, I'll say no. I'll say that you'll probably more be, and I hate to throw this word out there, be more open to different types of relationships. If you live longer, that doesn't mean that sexually you stop developing. In fact, that would mean that sexually you're more prone to trying new things. That might even be normalization of separation, or trying having multiple partners, or so on and so forth, or maybe breaking up or having multiple marriages, or so on and so forth. That's probably what it would go down to, right? Because all of a sudden, longer time, sexual drives are still there, especially after you've gone through puberty. 101 things. Oof. Yep. Let's back it up just a second. Actually, I do wonder if this is just what she may have read than what she may have experienced. Because clearly your parents came together and had you, the same way that other elves came together and had other elves. Do you have childhood trauma? So my thing is, and I hate to throw it this way, if she would classify an RADS R or any autistic trait test as being on the spectrum and say that she's heavily filled with childhood trauma, she becomes an unreliable narrator. She, well, not necessarily. I hate, like, because you are like all narrators are unreliable narrators. I want to go ahead and clarify this. All narrators are unreliable narrators because it's from their own perspective, right? Um, but it comes through like this, which is if there's childhood trauma and say that like signs and or symptoms that she is on the spectrum, all of a sudden my mind goes into, does she even fit in with the elf community? Would she, like, if there were a whole society of elves, would she even fit in? Is she projecting? Is she an outcast? Is so on and so forth. We can go down this road 101,000 different ways. Super fucking interesting to take apart, though. I'm actually even wondering what happened to her parents, and so on and so forth. Anyway, turns out that this is one of the other one-sided, or one of the worlds in the six-sided world thing in Moshko Tensei. And meanwhile, on the other side of the world, you have a little Elise over there as the most sexual elf. Oh, I'm fucking dying, bro. Oh. We'll do a Rads R for Frieren at the end here. Hold on. Oh shit. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Himmel's, I hate to put it this way, but Himmel's totally right. This is why you have a lot of couples, like aside from it's a phenomenal day to celebrate for weddings and stuff, where they do a lot of boudoir shoots, them sexy shoots nowadays. A lot of couples and that come to couples therapy and whatnot are, it doesn't even have to be for infidelity, but like they come through and they're doing a lot of like shoots of them being young before kids and whatnot, because they want their grandkids to know how they actually look like and not like and I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess. I mean, whatever floats your boat, you know. Ara knock, thank you, appreciate it. Yeah. Fuck, you didn't have to come after my heart. Oh. Ah. 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 Direct hit. Himmel was literally Himmel was trying to riz up someone that didn't know they were being rizzed. We'll put it that way, brother. Himmel was doing every fucking shot in the book, calling every fucking thing out there, and like, was throwing every part of game out there, but he couldn't land a hit. Critical hit until he was long gone. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. How would you feel though? Let's flip this around. How would you feel every 100 years you come to this place and you still have not aged? But this statue that was made in your honor and your friends' honors is starting to rust. It's starting to change, but yet you remain the same. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, I would feel lonely. Satan, I agree. I would feel lonely. I would even feel like maybe my life might be a curse where I'm trying to keep myself preoccupied with little shit, doing, say, Warhammer figurines and painting and whatnot, just to try and give my life some meaning because it doesn't change for me. I, if I was an elf, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just gonna be straight up. I would probably be Evil Ed. Hate to put it this way. I would probably be starting shit. Would probably be like, I want to feel entertained, so I'm going to go ahead and start my own community. I can outlive everyone. I can literally create resources and create a whole kingdom and, literally start a fucking war because I'm bored. I'm on a way to try and keep myself interested. The eminence in Frieren, right? But that's why I'm saying is it would be hard. And literally turning into the Demon King. But it would be hard. It would be hard. I would be hard. It would be hard in general to keep yourself entertained, like in this world. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to put it. And I think like if you conceptualize that, it's important, right? It's important to conceptualize these meanings. It's important to conceptualize what it means to be in this world. You what? What the fuck did I say? But yeah, that's what I'm going at, guys. Aw. Now you got to be careful because in heaven there's these kids with special abilities that can be quite scary. Start talking about heavenly delusion in here. Oh, northern lands. I did. Bro, so many fucking, like, out of all the towns, so many guards. It feels like I would be uncomfortable here. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it's like when I go into a town and there's way too many cops, I feel like I'm gonna get arrested. That's just me straight up. It's like an internal moment of just like run, get out of there. Seeing all of the guards stationed around here and not in other like cities that we've been to, for me it just screams like red alert, red alert, red alert. There's either a lot of wars or a lot of anything happening here. Like you gotta fucking be careful, man. You gotta get a cardboard box, Frieden. Frieden in a cardboard box. The perfect getaway. Maybe it's a parade. It could be. It could be. Hey, yo. Who's this cute Madoka looking cutie with the pink hair back here? Wait a minute. And no, it's a trap. It's a trap. I forget that I threw Señor Pingüino. I forget that I threw Señor Pingüino. Ah. 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 I'm not gonna say the line because I didn't think. Oh, the stigma is real though. Oh, maybe they have. Get. Hold on. Hold on. Ah, 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 ah. And he's out of here. He's out of here. Ah, this is bad. You'll see. This is really, really, really bad. Oh, this is fucking horrible though. What do you mean no? Like if this is already happening at this stage of the game and we're already starting to see instances, I know she's a war vet. Like we're stuff like this is continuing to happen where like she might thought that evolution, like, you know, that like, oh no, you guys don't get it, or 101 thoughts, like even in her eyes right now, like it's like she's processing, I'm not wrong. It's like she's processing, I'm not wrong. Why are you doing this to me? So on, like you could just tell that facial expression. She's just like really, really. My thing though goes even further. I'm gonna be straight up. Say that the demons are actually bad and not good people. Let's use that as a form of reference. What do you do? What do you do? I don't think she cares, honestly. Considering she was about to blast him, she was about to fucking blast him, brother. What do you do if you like say that you are the demons and you are good people or bad people? Let's go with bad people. What do you do? I'm gonna be straight up. If I was in the demon's shoes and say that I am a bad person, I don't start. Oh, I'm gonna go to destroy everyone. You know what I do? I start winning people over until it's too late. I start by saying, "Oh, I'm a kind person. I have literally built up this society. I have helped everyone out. Clean water, clean drinks, clean whatever. You don't blow your cover. Frieren, now that Frieren is here, wreck her. That sounds wrong. Literally take her out. Se volvió político. Sí, ya sabes. I would get Frieren. Oh, she tried to frame her. Take her out. Because Frieren is a threat. Frieren automatically came in here, tried blasting people, so on and so forth. You could make this like narrative seem like anything else. Like, welcome to Psychol News. And today on Psyculturist News, an elf walked into our town and was about to massacre our mayor, our wonderful mayor that built this town from the ground up and has allowed us to stay in here with little to no taxes and has had jobs for everyone in here. Wow, you know, or something like that. You can make up the news for however you wanted to go and spin it. But the thing there is, people could spin this in such a direction that it would make Frieren literally be an enemy. How dare she? Interesting. Really, really interesting stuff. And was you dead? Oh, 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 that's probably because you are. There's something that you've just done that makes me feel like you are either a psychopath or you're like it's just straight up in your blood. Can you guys guess? I want you guys to use some of the concepts that we've talked about in the past for this. What specifically gives off this intention, this look that I'm talking about, this phenomena? It's the hair. His control of his emotions, the way he's breaking this down, the calmness of a situation where he was about to get blasted. Oh, so this was your plan to try and go ahead and kill me. Wow. Even as I come down here and look in your eyes, I see no sense of hope at all. I sense a lot of hatred coming from you. You're looking at me as though I'm so on and so forth. There might be, because here's the thing, like being, being on the anti personality spectrum, we can go ahead and talk about how emotions are a part of it. Doesn't mean that you lack emotions. It just means that you're very controlled with them. And you can control them to such a level that you can present yourself like this, that everything is calm and calculated, and so on and so forth. That's sort of what I'm wondering. Mm, dato curioso. Lugnar significa mentiroso en alemán. Oh shit, I didn't know that. That's pretty good. In oh, oh. And she doesn't even she doesn't even show he doesn't even show any emotions. She literally just called him out to his face and he's just like, what the fuck? Red flag. Throw her in the dungeon beneath the mansion. And Frieren goes to jail for being a racist. Frieren. Frieren, no. Oh, that's rough. That's rough. Around Elves Watcher, so does someone who has lived for more than 1,000 years and has experienced many things have qualifications to generalize a group? No, because people do evolve, people do change. It doesn't matter what it is. Time will change, and it keeps evolving us and whatnot. So that's why I will always say, just remember to keep an open mind, open heart, type of a thing. um but also be I hate to use this, be honest and truthful with yourself. If something makes you feel uncomfortable, ask why. And this goes for anything. Like, could be a gut feeling, could be something like, let's say that you go out on a date with someone and you get this gut feeling that something's not right. Listen to your gut, call it off, do whatever you need to do. Could be with family members or whatnot that you're just not feeling okay around. Listen to your gut. That is a big thing, right? The beans being the demon she defeated was like yesterday. True. And it really, really well could be Rabbit Clone. That for her, it's like, wait a minute, I just defeated you. Mm-hmm. 2 to 3 years. Mm. Well, fuck. That's weird. Exactly 28 years ago. That's suspicious. That's a little weird. You wait for Himmel to die before you gain your power. Mm, mm, mm. You're raising an army, and it's specifically when the hero dies, all of a sudden you come back. Himmel was him. When Himmel died, everything came back into motion. Oh no. Why do I have a weird feeling that she's gonna blast out of here like fucking Team Rocket? Like she's gonna like either sneak her way out or she's literally gonna fucking blast it out, like bro playing the long game. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Oh. Oh. Bro, don't come in here with this fucking morality. Brother, if they're true fucking oh they ate people. Oh, is that's what I'm thinking, forecast. That's why I was like, if they eat people to gain their words, all of a sudden I'm just like but in of itself, what would you consider a demon? Breaking that down, what would you consider a demon? Like, would it be someone that's cold and distant and irregular, or would it, like that's sort of where it comes in? Is what would you consider a demon? Because if we're following the rules of nature, is it a demon for a snake to eat mice or a lion to eat a deer? It sucks, right? Someone that eats children as a low bar, right? But can people maybe even? And here's a big question, which is people could see Frieren as a demon. Mi novia cuando tiene hambre es un demonio. Ay no. ¿Les das tacos o qué le das para que no se enoje contigo? Demons are like Kirby. Well, she ate a child. Well, what is a demon for you? Because for her society, that might just be normal, right? And humans might be demons because of the way that they selfishly destroy other things or whatnot, right? Hmm. Okay, okay. If it eats your hand, bro, if it eats your fucking hand or some shit, if it eats your child, You see, I don't know if I should call this bad parenting here. I wouldn't leave my child with someone who just ate another child. What the fuck? Yeah, if I had a child, I wouldn't leave it with something that just ate another child in the village. You know, mm, mm, ah, ah. Well, that's so fucked. I brought you a replacement for them. Oh, that is so fucked. No. Um, wow. So anyway, he just started eating. He came into this fucking village and just started. To be fair, I'm gonna be straight up with you. It's just a culture. It's just a culture. It's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank. Don't you know? It's just a prank, bro. Oh, this is fucking. This is destroying me, man. This is destroying me on so many levels. Okay, who's at fault here for this? And every side's at fault. We can go ahead and point at it. But like, if you're to go ahead and pinpoint this, what could have prevented this? Let's just be real about it. The village chief. The village chief. Nature versus nurture. I mean, even if you did, right? Even if you did, say that you did grow them up, if it's a part of who they are, core, like their core, right? For whatever reason, let's say psychologically speaking, they come up as in the part of the antisocial personality disorder on the spectrum, right? No matter what, this is a part of their nature. Their mindset is to be that way. All of a sudden, you have an issue that no matter what you teach, it can grow to be worse, which is why a lot of master's program and doctoral programs, especially the master's program, a lot of people with narcissistic personality disorders and like antisocial personality disorders in general, they're like, oh yeah, we're going to try and study psychology. They try and join courses like this, but usually professors kick them out pretty quickly because individuals like that only do harm. They like tend to do harm, right? Which is they learn manipulation techniques, they learn aspects of control, aspects of so on and so forth, and then use it on people, which fucking sucks and it's horrible to say that, but that's how some people are. And then you have individuals out there who do pop psychology shit and like 1 minute 2 second videos, and it's oof. Are demons bad or are they dangerous? I would classify them as dangerous. Like for you to be around, for humans to be around. Now, dangerous for other demons to be around, that's something worth seeing what happens, right? Ooh, don't say that, bruh. Mm. See, but what if because the times have changed? What if they had what if they learn that maybe together they can present a stronger pact? Like exactly like a pack of wolves, right? Alone they're deadly, but together that's a fucking catastrophe waiting to happen, you know. To garner your empathy. Yeah. Yeah. People that hate their mothers. Pa, 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 pa. Say it again. Say it again. Oh, but no. If we're gonna be real, talking about like manipulation techniques and empathetic drives and so on and so forth. Tamakuno, one a time to one, yeah, and he started blasting. If we're gonna be real about it, and if we're genuinely gonna take this in for what it's worth, let's process it. What are empathetic words that people use to garner sympathy or respect or whatnot? Manipulation words that people use. I want to be straight up with you. I love you, but I loved you. But I love you. Please help. Right? You were my favorite. I have family. Yeah. Yeah. They're all key words and phrases that people use to garner a quick sense of sympathy, a quick sense of empathy out of it. And it's frightening. I trusted you. Yeah, it's frightening the amount of people that sometimes use this unknowingly with the intent to hurt. And that is what breaks my kokoro. It hurts when I see close friends or loved ones when their partner starts using I love you as a manipulation tactic. And you got to call it out. When people start using the words I trusted you in a scenario not because they fucked up but to absolve their own guilt. When people start using the words like oh it's the rat to try and misdirect, that breaks my fucking kokoro, you know. It breaks my heart to be able to go ahead and hear and see like this manipulation tactics being used because all of a sudden it's do these people genuinely mean it or is it just a tactic to go ahead and quickly like I don't know how to put it like divert any sort of responsibility and stay alive. Oof. Oof. I mean, it can be Nanachi. She doesn't even care that she's in prison. It's like 2 hours for her. It's 2 hours, brother. 2 years, 2 hours. It is what it is. It is what it is. Not even 2 hours. It'd be like 2 minutes. Yeah. No worries, Lena. How you doing? 2 to 3 years, bro. I did read. What are you talking about, dude? That's why I was like 2 to 3 years is probably like 2 minutes, dude. Hmm. Oh, I thought you were being serious for a moment. This is something we're talking about, though. So then they realize what they're doing, but yet they're more civilized in their approach, which makes me wonder if whoever their leader is has more of an intent to go ahead and do this, right? That's where my mind is. If the leader of the demons has evolved to a point where all of a sudden it's like, let's not immediately destroy people, Let's calculate. Oh my God, wait a fucking minute. I just realized, even just talking theoretically about the concepts of time, sometimes when you pick up on a good theme, when you pick up on a good theme, you know, it comes around. And when you're like, when you're actually, I don't know, like a decent psychologist, or you're actually able to go to pick up on good psychological elements, you will always hit on elements that present in shows. Doesn't mean you hit it with 100% accuracy, never, ever, ever. But what it does mean is we're able to go and see some patterns that emerge and how they can relate to this. Really, really interesting. What I'm saying is, I'm not a wizard. I am not a fucking wizard by any means, shape, and or form. Previous episode chapter stuff. Hmm. That's what a wizard would say. No. Oh, 5 gears. Well, fuck. Oh, oh. And he's dead. And instead of plotting it out better, oof, oof. I'll let you meet your son. Oof. I'm waiting for one of these lines. I'm waiting for one of these lines. Oh no. You wouldn't kill me here because you would soil it. Of course, he hits him with the old, oh, we're the same, brother. Ah. Ah. No, you. He hit him with the Me Too movement, and it worked. Brother, that sounds really fucking bad. He hit him with he hit him with the you know, with the no you card, with the Uno reverse card, and that's yeah, I think you gotta go ahead and like steal your resolution. You gotta steal your resolution to come through with certain aspects, right? And this goes for everyone, which is attune yourself to what you truly mean. Like, if you're gonna go through with something, especially in a scenario like this, you can't waver. The moment that you do waver, that's it. It's this lack of empathy and manipulation, but it's their behavior and how they behave. They're apex predators. This is their form of survival. Which, is it evil in of itself? Probably not. Is it dangerous? Yeah, probably. Evil or good doesn't matter. They gotta go. Something we don't have. He went for milk. Oh, yeah. I mean, they said it. They said it, dude. They said it right off the bat. Like, oh yeah, like, they're born without, like, their parents. They don't need their parents or caretakers there with them. They're just born into this world and they keep going. So why would we expect for them to truly mean what they say? Like, oh shit. I love this because these guys clearly think that they have the advantage in here, right? The world kept going regardless of Frieren. However, they literally have, like, I guess the new hero party here. Now that's gonna be a fucking match to remember. If this goes into a full fucking scale war, it's literally like two Frierens and a fucking I guess like dwarf hero, whatever, right? The new dwarf, like, that was passed on, the legacy that was passed on. That's gonna be mm, Eisen. There you go, Eisen warrior. Mm. Stark made Eisen scared. Ugh! Clean cut, clean cut, clean cut. He uses strings like a fucking spider with their butt. I swear to fucking God. I swear to God. I'm like, my mind went into like the worst possible scenario, which is, hold on, which is something like Yamete type of a thing, and then being like, call an ambulance, but not for me, that type of a thing, right? God damn it. Not like that, cochinos mal pensados. And but you guys get what I'm talking about, right? Which is like, when it comes to this, they're trying to eliminate her. Oh, you can bet there will be dojins about that. When we look at this, we can already quickly acknowledge that there's going to be some issues here, in that Frieren is the biggest threat that they have. Frieren can expose their operation like that. Frieren is, in all capacities, quite literally like just chaos for them. Mm, mm. Yeah, this guy's about to die. This guy's about to die. He probably is setting up a trap or some shit. Yeah. When people announce themselves like this, it's buying time, setting up a trap, especially if it's like piano wire shit like this. I would fear for my fucking ligaments or my neck specifically. And that, like, it's really hard to see if you've ever dealt with like any type of piano string or whatnot. And at night, it's tricky situation. Um, Not that like, oh yeah, I ran into it, but it's like, if you've ever tuned the piano and whatnot, you know how finely detailed that shit can be. I'm strong. uh, uh. She didn't even have to. Are you all right? No. Hello? Who are you? Like, who are, like, are you strong? Yeah. Yeah. What a fucking cliffhanger, ladies and gentlemen. And this is what I'm loving about this show. She just called them out for their bullshit. Like, come on. Are we going through with this? Are you gonna keep talking? Like, I'm not buying your empathy bullshit. Like, what do you want? But for a lot of us, and here's the thing: is at what level does that disfavor Frieren? At what level does this go from being, oh, okay, it's Frieren being her Frieren self, to, you know what, this is starting to affect the way that she makes relationships? Or is it just that Frieren only hates one particular race? Interesting, worth noting. Overall, I think a lot of the concepts that this has touched on, especially the concepts of, say, change, the concepts of even how some things might stay the same and people might look at you weird. I guess this will bring up a question while the song is playing. How many times have you guys been looked at as though you're the weird one because of your beliefs? She's just a racist. I'll be honest, even as a psychologist, and I've stated this in a lot of videos, I've been looked at weird when I first started doing this. I was looked at really fucking weird. Why are you analyzing anime? Why are you analyzing video games? Why are you doing this? Why don't you spend your money, like your time and money, actually doing real things that will help out? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Like, it was question after question, especially if anything related to anime, video games, or just this form of media. Um, it go back to cave painting. Yeah. Um, and that's the thing, is being the first one to like really jump into the sphere and do it like this, before others started jumping on and doing it. It was a challenging time, and it was a time where you literally have to stand up for what you believe in and keep working at it, despite how an audience might see it and how an audience might feel about certain things, right? Despite the fact that most videos, even nowadays, are 10 minutes, 15 minutes long, 20 minutes long at most for reaction channels. And those that are hour longs are already the rare channels. And those that are even longer than that, like, I could probably say Tiabu and mine, are, like, oh, why are you guys so long? Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, it's not just sitting through and talking about it. It's about going in deep, right? It's about genuinely processing stuff, because that's what we need to do. When I shared my opinions about inclusive language based on what I learned from my degree and my Lenacat, and how was that for you? That must have been something. Anime has a stigma to it, less so now, but it's still present. But a story is a story, and stories are important. Yes, I think every experience in the story is important, regardless of how they might come from, because there's something that you can either learn from, personally grow, or so on and so forth, right? It's just interesting. Like, that's something that's crossing my mind a lot. I don't think freedom is a racism is a racist. I was joking about that, guys. I hope you guys know. I hope you guys know. I don't really think about that. It was just an immediate joke that came to mind, and I was like, demons are much like vampires. Okay, but if let's say that Frieden was a vampire and she only took a little bit of blood from you, is she a bad person? If people classify demons as evil, right, or bad people, would that be a bad person? Her nature of being, and that's interesting just to take in. If she only took animal blood, would that be a bad thing? I mean, it's like people that just eat like meat. Is that a bad thing? All right, do we get a little bit of a oh, Frieden the Slayer, the Goblin Slayer? No, it's just Frieden the Slayer. I'm gonna watch 100 Girlfriends tomorrow, Aditya. But I was gonna say, phenomenal, actually, really, really interesting episode. Really interesting episode about just the concepts of what is good and what is evil, and in general, what does it mean to be labeled as such? What does it mean to carry that stigma with you, societally speaking? You know, That's what's really fucking interesting. Hold on. But through this, I I would say do it. One of the big things I guess to come out here is, hey, those demons, try not to be like them. I hate to be this way. Try and being empathetic. That's the number one thing. If you think I want to be like those demons, seek help. Like straight up, 110%. If you're like, wow, I really want to be like those demons, like feelings, like seek help. If you like, seek help in terms of growing empathy, and that's a big thing, right? Learn about empathy, learn about love and trust and abilities to grow, learn about everything that you can in terms of human connection, because losing your ability to feel empathetic towards others, let's just say it will lead down a troublesome road. Now, before we get Ed Spee on here, hold on. There's something that I want to do. Hold on, it's coming. I'm coming. Hold on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing this together. Is Frieren. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. I don't want to get copyright strike, so this is Edgar's song. Da, 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 da. So, ladies and gentlemen, is Frieren on the spectrum? Let's find out. Would you think that Frieren would say that they are an empathetic person? We're gonna quickly go through this. True now and when she was younger. True only now. True only when she was younger than 16. Sympathetic, my bad. Or never true. What do you guys think? Spec or not? By the way, this measures a wide variety of things. It's over the different categories. This is only one of many autism tests out there, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, she sympathizes only now or when she was younger. I know. Are you on the spectrum, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the game show. Some people are saying C. Mods, throw up a quick 30-second poll, please. Some people are saying B. C or B. All right. I think true only when I was younger than 16. Wait, how would it be C for Frieden? Answer on the board is B. All right. Number 2, I often use words and phrases from, I guess we're gonna change this, from grimoires and other like entertainment events and conversations. Sounds good, Satan. Appreciate ya. Be safe, man. You're wonderful. Does she often use words or phrases from movies or television shows or grimoires or any entertainment material out there? What do you guys think? I haven't heard it really. I know that she seeks it. She quotes her friends. They do use a lot of anecdotes. Yeah, that's a phrase. Anecdotes or phrases. So what do you guys think, ladies and gentlemen? This one seems to be a tough one here. By the way, we don't have to be 100% correct. Again, they're characters that are changing and evolving. This is only just a snapshot according to Twitch chat and myself in time, right? So, true now and when I was younger, true only now, true only when I was younger than 16, which in elf years we're going to Oh, seashell, how'd you know? What do you guys think? A, B, C, or D? Yeah. We got done with episode 7 talking about stigmas there. 5, 4. Mods, quick poll. This is a Radzar test, right? Radzar is one of the most common answers out there. Quotes are master sometimes, but it's probably D. All right, we'll go with D. I don't mind it. Number 3, I am often surprised when others tell me I have been rude. Does Frieden understand that she's being rude, or no? Does she just believe that like she's in the right and she's telling the truth? True now and when I was younger. True only now. True only when I was younger. That's probably A. She probably like she's just straight up about it. Trying to set it up. A, yeah. Number 4, sometimes I talk too loudly or too softly and I'm not aware of it. I haven't seen that. I don't know if you guys have, but I haven't seen that. I often don't know how to act in social situations. I'm going to say true now and when I was younger, because let's be honest. There's fucking parades and whatnot happening, and she's like, why is your shit happening? Do you guys really celebrate everything? I'm going to go ahead and do something else. Number 6, I can put myself in other people's shoes. I can put myself in other people's shoes. Now or when she was younger? I think now, right? She's kind of trying a little bit. A little bit. Number 7, I have a hard time figuring out what some phrases mean. Like, I want to I want to be with you after I'm gone. All the Himmel phrases, you guys know those that just went over her head? Yeah. she has some difficulties with that. I only like to talk to people who share my special interest. What do you guys think? She only likes to work and talk with people that, like, for example, are into grimoires and whatnot. There's a difference between having to and wanting to. What is she more passionate about, right? Or I only like to talk. Yeah. Maybe C or D. She talks to everyone, but she likes talking to people about the stuff she likes. C or D. Okay, chat. Final one. C or D. What are we going for? Majority vote here wins. Oh, is this a revised test? It looks like it. Well, she probably does get hyped when talking about magic, so A. Forecast is saying C. It could have been true before she met her party. All right, we'll go with C. How about that? True now and when I was young. For now, we'll go with C, just because it seems to be like a majority of the aspects. Doesn't matter, by the way. Again, you guys can do this for footing in yourselves. Get your own results. This is Twitch chat and our own little speculation on this. I focus on details rather than the overall idea. Oh my god, I hear Loki and it's like a fucking horse running around. What is it, guys? I focus on details rather than the overall idea. Does she see the big picture or is she only into like the little details? I'm thinking it's probably D. All right, number 10. I always notice how food feels in my mouth. That is more important to me than how it tastes. We haven't seen that. I haven't seen that in the show thinking about it, right? I miss my best friends or family when we are apart for a long time. True only now. Yeah, true. Yeah. Because it only happened after Himmel's death, you know, but during that like 50-year, 60-year period, however long it was. Sometimes I offend others by saying what I am thinking, even if I don't mean it. True now, and when I was young, that one's easy. I only like to think and talk about a few things that interest me. Grimoires, grimoires, grimoires. Grimoires, grimoires, grimoires. The old time, the heroes, the flame, the magician. There you go. Would you say that that is true now when she was young or just now? I think it's probably both. I think if we're gonna be honest about it, yeah, if we're gonna be honest about it, I'd rather go out to eat at a restaurant by myself than with someone I know. That's probably true. If we're being realistic about it, or not, dude. I guess now she has Fern, but so that would be true only now, right? Or just D. That was a tough one. Hold on, because we've seen her eat with Fern. But I think that she might have been isolated when she was younger. Yeah. Okay, good. Chat agreeing. I cannot imagine what it would be like to see be someone else. Hmm. Hmm. I think I think now she's learning how to be empathetic. So it was probably when she was younger. I have been told that I am clumsy or uncoordinated. Yeah. 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 I think we both all of us know it's A. I understand when friends need to be comforted. Oh, I don't know about that one. Does she really understand when friends need to be comforted? Oh, I skipped one. Hold on. Others consider me odd or different. True. Now, when she was young, that one doesn't need much. I understand when friends need to be comforted. True only now, right? I would assume so. Because she's being a lot more empathetic to Fern. So she's picking up on some cues. Yeah. I am very sensitive to the way my clothes feel when I touch them. How they feel is important to me more so than how they look. I don't think she's ever really cared about clothes. I like to copy the way certain people speak and act. It helps me appear more normal. I haven't really have we seen that? I haven't a Nick. I mean, yeah, yeah, because she's going off of the way that like some of her memories would say. Others are saying D though. Never true. She did do it a few times. Mimic the way that like some of the heroes acted with the roasting and stuff based off of memories, how they would treat one another, right? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's where my mind was as well. I guess you could say that. I guess you could say that. So true only now. Yeah, okay. It can be very intimidating for me to talk to more than one person at the same time. She had a party. She had a party that she was with. I don't think it was intimidating, more so that she just didn't want to. I have to act normal to please other people and make them like me. I mean, she is weird. She is weird. I would say that's kind of true. She is weird, and she does have to kind of like, restrict herself in how she acts or what she does to act normal. Let's put it this way. Fern, she had to act normal and accept normal time to please her. She's trying to behave for Fern, especially when it comes to concepts of time. I was she like this with the other party, the adventuring party for 10 years? I don't know. I don't know. I'm in between B and C, guys. I'm in between B and C, so I'm probably gonna go with B because of Fern specifically. Okay, number 23. Meeting new people is usually easy for me. Meeting new people is usually easy for me. I, and by this, I would say like genuinely making a connection with people. How about that? Genuinely making a connection with people is easy for her. Making a real connection, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think it's easy for her. I think even with the heroes, it took her time to even like make that a genuine connection, right? She doesn't connect, she passes by, right? I get highly confused when someone interrupts when I am talking about something I am very interested in. Okay, if Fern is talking about her grimoires and say that someone is interrupting her, do you think that she would get really confused or bothered by it? True now when she's young, true only now, true only when she was, of course, younger than before she met her party, or never true? Confused, not, maybe annoyed. She'll make a face. I think she'd make a face. But I think that's still D. I don't think that she'd be confused. I think she would make a face. It is difficult for me to understand how other people are feeling when we are talking. I gotta say, this is probably true when she was younger, right? I at least I believe so. Either with Flame or when she slowly started. Yeah, she's getting better at it. So I would say C. I like having a conversation with several people, for instance, around the dinner table at school or at work. Is she really extroverted? Is she like, I can talk to everyone? I like having multiple conversations with everyone. Can I pick this one? Because she's very, very limited. We haven't seen her really go out and you know, multiple party type thing. It's only people that she's really like that are in her inner circle, either the party or like separately or together, which is the main hero squad, or just seldom people from time to time. But we haven't really seen her just go out and like, oh, citizens of this city, like throw big banquets or do anything major like that with multiple people, right? I take things too literally, so I often miss what people are trying to say. This is a long one, guys. Stay with us if you guys want to find the results here. What do you think? Does she take things too literally and often misinterpret like their what they're trying to say? Himmel. Probably not fully understanding uh, the situations. Himmel. 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 What would you guys say, chat? Hello? I would probably, I don't know. I'm in between A and B. Because she still does that, right? So I'm in between A, B. Am I still, is stream okay? Hey, yo. Not sure. You're not sure. A then. I think she's just starting to figure out what that means, like some of the things, but I don't think she fully understands. It is very difficult for me to understand when someone is embarrassed or jealous. Chat. What do you think, boys? A. Okay. Some ordinary textures that do not bother others uh feel very offensive when they touch my skin. We haven't seen that. I get extremely upset when the way I like to do things is suddenly changed. I get extremely upset when the way like to do things is suddenly changed. We haven't really seen that. I have never wanted or needed to have what other people call an intimate relationship. For Frieren, I have never wanted or needed what other people call an intimate relationship. True now and when I was younger, true only now, true when I was younger than 16. Oh, this one's debated. She hasn't said that she wants or needs an intimate relationship though. In fact, she's like in the show so far, she has said that that they don't really need like to reproduce or it's very low reproduction. I think she only wants to talk to Himmel again. So I'm going to go with probably A for this one. It is difficult for me to start and stop a conversation. I need to keep going until I am finished. Well, I mean, I like to keep going until I am finished. I'm kidding. I usually stop midway through a conversation. I guess we haven't really seen that because they've been interrupted by monsters and other stuff beforehand, and in the conversation patterns. I speak with the normal rhythm. I speak with the normal rhythm. Does she, or is she just very soft and monotone at times? True now. True now when I was young. Okay. The same sound, color, or texture can suddenly change. We haven't seen that. The phrase, I've got you under my skin, makes me uncomfortable. Do you think that she understands what this phrase would mean? Or do you think that she would just take it literally? That's one way to process this. Would she understand this phrase? Or no? I've got you under my skin. Your skin makes me crawl. It's raining cats and dogs. I doubt she would understand it. I doubt she would understand it. So A, B, C, or D, chat. What do you think? Do you think that she would understand it, be like, and get uncomfortable by it, or she wouldn't understand it at all? D. Okay. Or not get uncomfortable by it. Okay, 36. Sometimes the sound of word or high pitched, we haven't seen that. I am an understanding type of person. Chat. Is she an understanding type of person? Is she an empathetic person? I think it's probably B. I think it's probably B. Yeah. True only now where she's starting to understand, right? I think so. But like, that can be worded differently, but it is what it is. I do not connect with characters, and I guess for her it would be books, and cannot feel what they feel. Emotions wise, can she connect with others through emotions? An empathetic person, John. She's an empathetic person. Do you think so or not? I know this is a long one. Okay. Do you think that she could connect with some of the characters because she understood his feelings? Okay. Did she understand his feelings, or did she just, I don't know how to put it? Did she let him just go through with it because it was easier to go out and see where she goes? That's a question to ask. Just to be like, okay, if this falls, this is your mistake. Hmm. I do not connect with characters in grimoires or books or fairy tales. Like, cannot feel what they feel. Yeah, straight up forecast. Do you think that she'd be able to go out and connect with people in some of the books, or is she just analytical? Sounds good, Nick. Appreciate you. Then how the character feels. I think so. So I think true now when I was young, right? Or true only when I was young, because I think as she's growing, she might try and go and say that. But for now, because we haven't seen that, I'm gonna put A. I cannot tell when someone is flirting with me. True now when she was younger. Instant. I can see in my mind the exact details I'm interested in. I think so. I think she can probably see every little fucking detail of every grimoire she's read and how to do all of those spells. That's probably A. I keep lists of things that interest me, even when they have no practical use. Abso-fucking-lutely, all of those grimoires. Uh, when I feel overwhelmed by my senses, I have to isolate myself and shut down. I don't think we've seen that. I like to talk things over with my friends. Hmm. Does she though? Or does she leave for 50 years and then comes back? All right, chat. That's a real one for you guys. Does Frieren like to talk things over with her friends? Never true. I cannot tell if someone is interested or bored with what I am saying. I cannot tell if someone is interested or bored with what I am saying. Chat? Probably A. It can be very hard to read someone's face and body movement when they are talking. Do you think that she could read people like a book? Or does she have some difficulty truly understanding people's uh what people mean and say? So that's probably true. Because she couldn't see how like that Fern was bored. The same thing, like, oh, she can, but that's demon. She already has a stigma for demons. But for other people like Fern and whatnot, ugh. The same things like clothes or temperature can. I don't know about that one. I feel very comfortable with dating or being in social situations with others. Nope. I try to be as helpful as I can with other people tell me their personal problems. I think that's true only now. I have been told that I have an unusual voice, flat, monotone, childish, or high pitched. We haven't seen that. Sometimes a thought or subject gets stuck in my head, and that's all true. True. If no one is interested, true. Flower, grimoire. I do certain things with my hands over and over, like flapping, twirling sticks or strings, waving things with my eyes. I don't know about this one. I don't think we've seen this one, unless you would consider doing magic a repetitive action, but I don't think so, chat. I have been never been interested in what most people I know consider interesting. 52. That's an interesting one. I have never been interested in what most other people I know consider interested. There we go. I am considered a passionate, compassionate type of person. Where do you think she would land on that? I think that's probably B. Like, probably only never true. Wow. Okay, we're going with D. There we go. I get along with other people by following a set of specific rules that help me look normal. What do you think, Chet? Does she follow specific rules that help her look normal in human society? Or attune herself to normal? D again? Okay. It's very difficult for me to work and function in groups. Not true. Because she's worked with Himmel in that group. When I am talking to someone, it is hard to change subjects. If the other person does so, I can get very upset and confused. Nope, Fern has addressed this. Sometimes I have to cover my ears. Nope. I can chat and make small talk with people. Ah, can she really, or do you have to go deep with Frieren? Do you have to go like fist deep with Frieren about conversations, or can she like legitimately just make small talk with people? I don't really think she makes small talk. I think she does. So I'm gonna put never true on this one. Her combos are often short. She always has a reason when she's right, and it's, do you have a reason for what you're saying? Of course, you guys can do your own. By the way, sometimes things that should feel painful are not. Uh, eh. When talking to someone, I have a hard time telling when it's my turn to talk or listen. Um, hmm. I don't think so. I think she's. I am considered a loner by the yes. I am considered a loner by those who know me best. 50 years. 50 years. I usually speak in a normal tone. Yeah, okay. I like things to be exactly the same day after day, and even small changes in routines change me. Nope. How to make friends and socialize is a mystery to me. She sucks at making friends. She sucks at making friends. So I'm probably gonna go with probably A. Probably A. Okay. It calms me to spin around or rock in a chair when I'm feeling stressed. If it was friend, I would be like, oh, her spins. But it's not, so probably never true. The phrase, he wears his heart on his sleeve, does not make sense to me. It probably doesn't, because she's still trying to figure that out. She's still trying to figure out him on what any of the phrases he was using. If I'm in a place where there are smells, textures, we don't know that. I can tell when someone says one thing but means something else. Can she? I don't think so. I think only now, maybe only now that she's realizing it. Probably B. Chat, what do you think? 68. 68. But for the demons, that's already a stigma that she has, right? Just general population. Do you think that she could understand when they say something but mean something else, or no? I think only now is she starting to realize it, but I don't think she 100% gets it. Right? I like to be by myself as much as I can. True. Ah, ah. I mean, she goes through long periods of time to. I think only now. Every time something happens, she remembers Himmel said it. True, only when yeah. She doesn't mind being with others, but does she like to be by herself more? Because you have to remember, she spent 10 years with Himmel, but she spent 50 years plus by herself. We are analyzing Frieren right now. She wanted to do things with others because Himmel advised her to. So what is it, chat? A, B, or C for 69? Like the sunrise thing. Yeah, I mean, only after being told. Mao says A. That's a tough one. She does drop yeah. I think probably C. I'm gonna keep C for now. It's okay, guys. It doesn't have to be 100%. I keep my thoughts stacked in my memories that they are like on filing cards, and I pick out the ones I need by looking through the stack or another unique way. Essentially, she has all of her like books memorized, and she's able to go and pick up certain things and grow from it. True now, when she was younger, I think she has a great memory. The same sound. Nope. I enjoy reading. I enjoy spending time eating and talking with my friends, with my family and friends. Frieren, Cisco Panch. Frieren. It's pretty good. Really, really strong recommendation. I enjoy eating. I enjoy spending time eating and talking with my friends. I think only now, right? Oh yeah. See, Shell, you need to take this slow. You can't rush through this stuff. I can't tolerate things. Nope, that's a dislike. I don't like to be hugged or held. Hmm. I hate when people just automatically rush through stuff or give you the way to answer this. There's no way to answer this. You just got to be real and honest, like straight up. I don't think she likes being intimate in that way. When I go somewhere, I have to follow a familiar route, or I could get very confused and upset. What route is she currently following? The route that she took, right? So I don't know about this one just because we haven't seen it really. Yeah, that would count. So 75. D. 76. It is difficult to figure out what other people expect of me. I think that's true. I think that's true. I think she still has a hard time figuring out what expectations others have of her unless they communicate it directly against her. I like to have close friends. We're in the final little bits here, guys. What do you think the score will be, ladies and gentlemen? I know this was a long one, but it's one that's necessary. I think this one is probably B, true only now. People tell me that I give too much detail. People tell me that I give too much detail. D. I am often told that I ask embarrassing questions. I am often told that I ask embarrassing questions. Hmm. I don't. I mean, she gets into embarrassing situations, but not ask embarrassing questions. So I would probably say D, just because of questions. And last one, I tend to point out other people's mistakes. True. True. She's done it, not in a bad way, right? But in a way of like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's scoring time. What score do you think she'll have? What score do you think she'll have, ladies and gentlemen? I can already guess that probably with circumscribed interest or maybe socially, she might score really, really high. All right, let's find out. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yep, social relatedness, 74. Score of 74. It's right in the middle, so it's indications of autism. Bop, bop. It's right there. 65 is the minimum score. From 65 to 90, there are traits there. Oh wait, total's 109. My bad. My bad. No. Total's 109. Yeah, strong indication of autism. Yep. Yep. It's right in between this 90 and 130. Yeah, it's supposed to be the total. It's 109. So there we go. Strong indications of autism's the closer to the mean score. There you guys go. With it specifically landing on social relatedness being one of the biggest ones. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. And this is according to what we know of her right now. That can always change. That can always change, ladies and gentlemen. You know. So at the moment, she scores 109. Social relatedness. There you go. So knowing that she would rank to be on the spectrum and that people would probably diagnose her, because anything after 65, people can give you a diagnosis of autism. Does that change anything or affirm how you see Frieren? For me, I kind of already knew it. That's something that I've been stating for a while. I kind of already had a feeling and I kind of already knew that she would rank in that way. But for some of you, does it affirm your thoughts or does it change anything at all? Doesn't really change anything for you. Well, good. Good. All right, say something, SV.
I ordered the beta figure.
You did? Oh, bro, you have colored me jealous here. Oh, oof. So, SP, since you're here, I guess, and you witnessed that long ass diagnostic test, what do you think? Does that change anything for you, seeing that Frieren is on the spectrum, or would be classified as being on the spectrum?
I'm not surprised, but at the same time, I kind of expected as much.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, it's something. Yeah, I expected, but it doesn't change anything. I still kind of see it the same way as always.
I think just her taking on this journey of even understanding herself and whatnot is actually very similar to the way a lot of people on the spectrum take that journey at some point in their life to try and find out like how they can fit in with the others, or what their masking skills are, or so on. And actually, I'm like, it actually does mend pretty well with some of the similar developmental concepts of some individuals on the spectrum. I'm like, wait a minute, this might actually tie in pretty well. So through that, what'd you think of this episode? Why don't we start off with Frieren and then we'll end with Eminence?
It's very interesting, especially the later half, especially the whole emotions thing. Like, I was kind of sitting there thinking while watching you go through, I was like, it's like imagine if a lion could talk to you and you lived in the same house as a lion. It's like, would you really do that?
Right.
Like, if it could talk to you and it tried to imitate speech, would you still live in the house with it, knowing its nature of how it behaves? And I'm just like, no. It's just like a danger zone right there. It's kind of how I saw it. But I think that's what made it interesting is that a lot of people were kind of sympathized with the demons because they looked like them and because they had speech like them. It gave them that connection where they're like, oh, well, maybe they're just like us. Maybe they're just misunderstood. But the reality is they've just an in a sense, an animal taken on a human form with the speech, and they just don't understand what like children and parents are like. Especially that part where she's just like, "Oh, I brought back your daughter." It's just like, no, that's someone else's daughter. It's like they don't understand the concept of what family is like because of they're isolated. And it is curious to see if like they could understand that concept of like if they came together as a clan or a group or something, would they understand like a hierarchy system? Which it kind of hinted at in that
Right.
episode that there is clearly some leadership in there, but I don't think they really understand like family in that sense. It's just like whoever's the strongest is the leader, so it's like the leader of the pack. But I also think there could be one of those like power struggles as well. Like if one of the leaders shows weakness, then they'll just off them off very quickly, and the next strong one takes over. So I thought it was a really interesting episode, and I'm curious to see where it goes because of Freeren's hatred towards demons, and I feel like there's going to be some more backstory on that as well. I don't think there's just like one isolated backstory of an incident. I think there's a lot more deep hatred that she's built over time,
Right.
possibly something that maybe she's had a connection with someone and they've ended up being hurt because of a demon.
No, I absolutely agree with you. And that's sort of where the concept of what makes something good or evil comes in that regard. If it's in their nature, does that truly make them evil? Or does that just make it a part of their, nature, a part of who they are? And that's like even questions that come up during some of the animals that we have in the circus, right? that are being mistreated or whatnot, and or not even mistreated. It could happen to anyone at any point in time. They might be treated the best in the world, and all of a sudden they attack their trainers, whoever they're performing with. It's like, does that make the animal evil, or is it just a part of their instincts to do that? That's
That's what it kind of made me think of when I was watching it. It really made me feel like it's like an animal kingdom kind of thing, and the demons are just an animal that's taken on a human form, and they've just learnt speech, and they're using that to their advantage. They're like, well, I want to eat this. What is the most effective way for me to win this fight and be able to eat them? And they're going, well, what if I just imitate their speech, look like them, look cute and adorable, and use words that are going to drive emotions and bring their awareness down? And that's exactly what he said when he brought up the father thing. And she's like, what's a father? It's like, I don't know. It clearly is effective, and that's exactly it. They're like, these words have emotional impacts. Let's use them, lower their defenses, and then roll in and eat the population. But does
but
that make them evil? It's like, well, if it's an animal, it's like they're just doing what their instincts are. Take out the weak, eat them.
right. But I think through that, though, you're hitting on something very important that I've been going a lot over with my clients as well, which is limiting the impact of words that words can have on you. Because if we're going to be honest about it, there are way too many people on social media, on everywhere else, that literally use words as a way to hurt you, to make you lower your guard, to do certain things. So there are people that act very much like these demons with the full intent of like, look, I'm a cute kawaii VTuber, and then the moment that you let them in, they're like, and I'm gonna go ahead and fuck you over, and just completely destroy you or try and do certain things. Not saying that it's happened. I'm just saying that like there are a lot of people out there who quite literally play coy, or they're like, "Hey SB, I love you. Let me take screenshots of this and then hate you on Reddit." Like way too many people that are like
Mm.
that.
I've noticed a lot of people are finding more words to be upset about as well. It's kind of like that extreme of where, like, the word apparently spooky is apparently a slur now. I never knew that was even possible. The word spooky just
What?
meant Halloween to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently it's going around on social media that people are saying the word spooky is a slur and blood is apparently a slur. And I'm just like, are we going to the extreme where people are just using words to just find new ways of being upset? And that kind of falls into that. It's like, these creatures are using words to drive emotions, and they know what words to drive, but if you've ran out of words to be scared about, are you just gonna start making them up as you go along?
Our new word of the month is blue. If you say blue, that's a slur because, yikes. Yikes. That's terrifying though, because the thing is, the more power that we give to words, don't get me wrong, words are powerful. The way that we intend to use them can be very powerful. But the more power that we give to words, the more it takes away from our ability to actually start taking actions. And that's genuinely terrifying. Where people are like, oh, you said a word, now everyone starts hating you because you said this one word, because people are giving it an inherent like value instead of taking the full context as to what you might be saying. Like spooky.
Mm.
I deal with toddlers that go around and they're like, it's spooky season. Spooky. They're not saying fucking slurs. They're just saying it's Halloween time. What the heck?
Yeah,
Ah.
I love Halloween. Not because of the candy, I just love, like, every game that they do all those, like, fancy events, and they have all those skins, and then you got all those, like, really, like, eye-catchy skin models on, waifus.
I thought you were gonna say because people dress up as pretty amazing costumes,
Yeah,
Yeah.
more
But
more excuses for good cosplayers.
oh yeah, right. I will say something that stood out to me on this in this episode is Frieren roasting Stark. Like just a little bit, that little bit of camaraderie in there. I'm like, okay, they're starting to grow as a team, as a group. Like that really stood out to me.
The chemistry between the 2 young ones is just adorable. I really feel like there's gonna be something that will build up over time. Especially the way she's very cold, but I think she does care, but she just kinda gives that cold persona away, and he's kind of that sensitive, kind, always trying to look for a way to kinda get her to be nice to him. It's just I feel like she'll warm up. I'm really looking forward to it,
Yeah.
and I feel like Frieren will be like the mother that will bring them together.
I mean, she
But she kind
already
of feels like a grandma.
I mean, she already kind of indirectly asked, like, I'm pretty sure it wasn't meant towards that way, but like, are you making any progress? You know, after they're seen together, and I was like, that is so weirdly put in there that I was like, okay, yeah, I can see where this might be going, what this might be hinting at. As always, context matters with words. Yes, 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 it does. But through that, okay, anything stand out for you on this episode?
Particularly the demon part, that's what really stood out to me because it made me think about like the whole, as you said, the nature of like what is evil and all that. And even though, yeah, they have human skin and voice and all that, but it's like they're like animals. They're just following their instinct. They're like, what's the most effective way to eat the opponent? And that's what they want to do. They want to eat them. So it made me wonder more about that part. I also do wonder if they've got like a secondary form based on their abilities because you notice like the string thing. I'm like, I wonder if it's like a spider type demon as
Right.
well. Like some of them might have like a secondary form and they eat humans and they take on those forms as they gather their DNA kind of thing. I wondered that. And that's how
Oh,
they like evolve. They're like, oh, I eat the human, I become the human, then I use that to trick humans so I can eat more humans.
I wonder if when they eat humans, they might garner some sense of like not their memories, but say like it might be intelligence level or it might be vocal recognition patterns or so on and so forth. Because Demon ate child, Demon was able to go ahead and start speaking. And so or at least I assume so. Uh and so if we follow that train of logic, I'm like, is it the more they eat, the stronger they get?
Mm.
That's that's worth taking in. So, but aside from that, what would you give this fitting an episode? What do you think?
It's like a 9, 9.5. I'm really loving these episodes.
Yeah.
I love some of the interesting things that they're bringing up. It's like every episode there's something fascinating about like the world, the characters, and now with the demons being introduced. I mean, we kind of knew they were coming last episode, but now seeing them and how they interact, it wasn't just like a cut and dry like good versus evil. There's kind of this like interesting intertwine of like nature itself and how these creatures like try to integrate themselves amongst humans to try and trick them, and it's just like, and the backstory as well really adds some nice depth to it.
Absolutely. I think for me, I would probably give it like a 9.5 as well. It's really good. And I actually like the fact that
Mm.
like it's not speeding up. It's staying consistent with this with the pacing. And you're just like, I can enjoy this. I can see where you're going with this. It's not like we're rushing to like, hey, you know what? We're now gonna have a massive action sequence, which is amazing in Eminence. We'll get to that in a bit. But like in the show itself, it's staying true and consistent to its tone. And it doesn't give I feel like it doesn't give a fuck about those viewers that are like, speed it up, let's get to something major. It's like, no, we're taking our time. We're gonna take our time to get there. And when you get there, you'll like it. uh all right, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the general shit for a little bit. SP. All right, guys. Have a good night. Stay safe.